The Pentagon now says a U.S. Navy destroyer shot down several missiles and drones that were launched from Yemen. Let's bring in our chief national security analyst, Jim Sciutto. You're working the story for us, Jim. What do we know about this intercept and the risk potentially of escalation in the Middle East?
Well, Wolf, when my colleague Oren Lieberman and I first reported this afternoon, what we knew at the time was that a U.S. destroyer off of Yemen had intercepted multiple projectiles, missiles, target unknown. It had successfully destroyed those missiles. The question was, where were they headed? Were they targeting those U.S. ships or elsewhere? What we learned over the afternoon, as the Pentagon said, is that they believe those missiles were headed northwest towards Israel. Of course, the danger there was that the Houthi rebels, which the U.S. believes fired these missiles, they are backed by Iran. They follow orders from Iran. Was this an instance where another front is being opened up against Israel in this war there? As you know, there are U.S. assets around the region. You have two carrier groups in the Eastern Mediterranean. Of course, you have numerous ships in the Arabian Gulf and off the coast of Yemen, and they could use their capabilities, including anti-missile capabilities, to take out potential threats. And that's what appears to have happened here. Of course, the danger, Wolf, is escalation not only involving Israel, another front opened up on Israel by, in effect, a proxy group, the Houthis, controlled by Iran, but also you have U.S. forces in the line of fire in the Eastern Med, in the Arabian Gulf, and off the coast of Yemen. And it shows you, Wolf, the potential for escalation of this war. Does Iran choose to open up another front through its proxies, whether the Houthi rebels or Hezbollah north of Israel? And do U.S. forces pose a danger, in effect, of getting involved? That's the real concern here of U.S. officials, and it's why you've heard the U.S. president from the beginning say, if you're thinking about getting into this, Iran and others, don't think about it.
Yeah, I keep saying don't. Jim Sciutto, excellent report. Thank you very much. So let's discuss this and more with retired General Frank McKenzie. He serves as commander of the U.S. military's Central Command. He did serve as the U.S. military Central Commander, which is responsible, as we all know, for the Middle East. General, thanks so much for joining us. How concerning are these intercepted missiles from Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen? Are they trying to take advantage of the tensions in the region that already exist?
Wolf, it certainly looks like an escalation, opening another front against Israel, attacking from another direction. But it matches other activities that Iran's been backing for the past few days, including attacks by their proxy forces against our soldiers and Marines in Iraq and in Syria. So it's sort of a pattern, and frankly, it's disturbing.
Yeah, this is very disturbing indeed. And on Israel's northern border, as you well know, the IDF exchanged even more fire with Hezbollah today. The UN says one person was killed. Just how much could this conflict escalate to multi-fronts?
So the possibility of an attack, a large-scale attack against Israel from Lebanon, initiated by Lebanese Hezbollah, is really the most significant threat I think Israel faces. They have many thousands of highly precise rockets and missiles that have been provided by Iran. They brought them across Syria into Lebanon. They're ready to fire. They're hidden in schools and mosques and in places and in private homes. It would be a very difficult targeting problem for Israel. However, Lebanese Hezbollah will make its own calculation. I think if they launch a large-scale attack against Israel, Israel will come in very heavy against them. And in 2006, it was a bloody war for both sides, but Lebanese Hezbollah was hurt pretty badly from that. And so I think they'll have to think very carefully before they decide to come into this conflict.
Good point. Israel's defense minister, General, he said today that troops will soon see the inside of Gaza. But explain why you've said a full-scale Israeli ground invasion would become, and I'm quoting you now, a bloodbath.